My precious child, I am warning you, for you have made two serious blunders recently. And if you will not take the necessary steps even now, after listening to my warning, then it will cost you something big. It may not be immediately obvious, but I see all things, and I know the consequences of your actions, both the seen and unseen. I have watched over you with great love, and my plans for you are filled with blessings. However, your choices must align with my will, and when they stray, they open doors that are not of my making. My precioso child, your life is a mixture of my plans and your choices, and sometimes your own choices makes you vulnerable. Ignoring your health is one of the most serious mistakes you can make, for it is a direct attack on the gift I have given you. Your body is my temple, and I have designed it to function in perfect harmony. But when you choose to neglect its needs, when you fail to listen to the signs I have placed before you, you are disregarding the very vessel that I have created for your purpose. I know that you may think it is something small, a fleeting moment of neglect that will not have a lasting impact, but you are wrong, my child. Each day you ignore the whispers I send to you, whether through the ache in your body, the tiredness in your soul, or the inner voice urging you to rest. Each time you dismiss them, you move further away from the health I have intended for you. Do not wait until it is too late, my precious one. Do not wait for your body to cry out in desperation before you act. Your health is an essential part of your journey, and I have given you the responsibility to care for it. It is not just about physical strength, but about mental clarity and spiritual vitality. When you are not well, it affects your ability to hear my voice, to discern my guidance, and to live out your calling. I desire for you to be whole, to be strong in every way, so that you may walk the path I have set before you with clarity and purpose. Your neglect of your health, my child, is not just a physical oversight. It is a spiritual one too. It shows a lack of regard for the body I created for you, and it speaks to the larger pattern of choices you are making. If you ignore my warnings in one area of your life, you will begin to ignore them in others. If you fail to care for your body, you may find yourself becoming numb to the other aspects of your life that need attention. This is a warning to you, for I desire nothing more than to see you thriving in all areas, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. The second blunder you have made, my precious child, is delaying important decisions. I understand that decisions can be difficult, and sometimes it feels safer to wait, to procrastinate, or to hope that the answer will come on its own. But my child, you must understand that my timing is perfect, and when I give you a decision to make, it is not meant to be ignored. I have placed you on a path, and there are moments in life when you must take bold steps forward, trusting in my wisdom to guide you. When you delay, you are not just avoiding the discomfort of making a choice. You are missing out on the blessings that come with acting in faith. My precious child, I am the God of both patience and urgency. While I wait patiently for your heart to be ready, I also know when the moment is right for you to step into your purpose. It is not enough to wait for the perfect moment, because that moment may never come if you do not act. I have seen the consequences of hesitation, and while I will always be here to guide you, your decisions are yours to make. Delaying decisions can keep you in a place of uncertainty, preventing you from moving forward into the future I have for you. You may think that by avoiding decisions you are protecting yourself from pain or failure. But in reality, you are trapping yourself in a cycle of stagnation. Life is not meant to be lived in fear, my child. You must trust that even when you do not have all the answers, I will lead you through. The delay in making important decisions is a form of disobedience. I have called you to move, to act, and to trust in my provision. When you refuse to make those decisions, you are showing a lack of trust in my ability to guide you. Do not be afraid, my precious child. I am with you always, and I will never leave you or forsake you. When you step out in faith, you will find that I am there to catch you, to lead you, and to show you the way. It is easy to fall into complacency, to think that everything will work out in time. But the truth is that time does not wait for anyone. Every day is an opportunity to move forward, to align your choices with my will, and to take the steps necessary to fulfill your purpose. Do not squander these days. Do not allow fear to hold you back. You are not alone in this journey. I am walking beside you, and I will guide you every step of the way. My child, I am not angry with you, but I am concerned. I see the potential that lies within you, and I know the plans I have for you. But your choices, the choices you make now, will determine whether you walk in the fullness of those plans or if you walk away from them. It is not too late to change course. It is not too late to take the steps necessary to bring healing to your body and to make the decisions that will move you forward in my purpose. I am calling you to wake up from your slumber, to open your eyes to the truth that I have placed before you. I am calling you to take responsibility for the life I have given you, to stop ignoring the signs, and to step into the destiny that I have prepared for you. I know it is not easy, and I know it may seem daunting, but I will never ask you to do anything without equipping you to succeed. Trust in my provision, trust in my guidance, and trust in my love for you. But I will not lead you into failure. I will lead you into victory. There are consequences for the choices we make, my child. This is a truth that cannot be ignored. But there is also grace, and there is mercy. If you will listen to my warning, if you will heed the voice of wisdom that I am sending to you now, then you will avoid the worst of the consequences. You will move forward in my perfect will, and you will experience the fullness of life that I have promised you. Do not be deceived by the fleeting comfort of procrastination. Do not be lulled into complacency by the illusion of safety. The path I have for you is not always easy, but it is always worth it, and I am with you every step of the way. Your health, your decisions, your choices, all of these are in your hands. And I, your loving Father, am here to guide you, to help you, and to walk beside you. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to take responsibility for your choices and to step forward in faith. Do not let the fear of the unknown hold you back any longer. Do not let the weight of past mistakes prevent you from moving forward into the future I have for you. You are not defined by your mistakes, my precious child, but by my love for you and the purpose I have placed within you. You are stronger than you know. You are capable of more than you believe. And with my help, there is nothing that can stand in your way. Take the steps necessary to heal your body, to make the decisions you have delayed, and to trust in the path I have set before you. I will be with you every step of the way, and together we will walk through every challenge and into every victory. I understand now, and I thank you for your patience. Let me reframe the message according to what you're asking, focusing on what happens to those who do not follow God's voice and His guidance. My precious child, hear my voice today, for I speak with both love and sorrow. It grieves me deeply to know that there are many who, despite my calls, choose to turn away from my voice and follow the ways of the world. You see, my child, when a person chooses not to listen to my guidance, the consequences are far-reaching, and they affect not only their lives, but the lives of those around them. I do not speak these words to condemn, but to warn. I love you too much to leave you in ignorance of what will happen when my children ignore the direction I provide. First, understand that when my voice is disregarded, there is a separation from the fullness of my peace and protection. I have given you my word, my guidance, and my spirit to be a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. When you choose not to listen, you walk in darkness. The consequences of walking in darkness are many, and they often unfold in ways that are not immediately apparent but are devastating in the long run. Let me tell you about the people who chose not to heed my voice in the past. Consider the Israelites in the wilderness. I delivered them from the bondage of Egypt, parted the Red Sea, and led them by a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. I provided for them, fed them with manna from heaven, and gave them water from a rock. But despite my constant provision and guidance, they grew weary of listening to my voice. They grumbled, they doubted, and they turned to idols. Because they did not listen to my voice, they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, never entering the promised land. Their disobedience cost them the fulfillment of the promise I had made to them. It was not a punishment, but the natural consequence of turning away from the guidance I gave them. This is the same with those who refuse to follow my voice today. The promised land, the fullness of my blessings and plans for you, remains out of reach when you turn away from me. You may experience temporary satisfaction in the things of the world, but the deep, abiding peace and joy that only I can give will elude you. When you turn from my voice, you walk away from my protection, from the abundant life I desire for you, and you enter into a life of wandering, confusion, and frustration. And then there are those like Pharaoh who hardened his heart against my voice. In the book of Exodus, I sent Moses to deliver my people from slavery, to set them free. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened. He refused to listen to my voice, and as a result, he brought disaster upon himself and his people. Every time he ignored my command, another plague fell upon Egypt. Yet even in the face of these devastating consequences, Pharaoh's heart remained stubborn. The final blow was the death of the firstborn of Egypt, including his own son. Pharaoh's refusal to follow my voice, to humble himself before me, led to not only his own downfall, but the suffering of countless others. My child, when a person refuses to follow my voice, it is not just themselves they harm, but those around them as well. Your decisions, whether good or bad, ripple out and affect the lives of others. When you walk in my will, you bring peace, joy, and blessings to those around you. But when you turn away from my voice, you create an atmosphere of turmoil, confusion, and harm. Just as Pharaoh's disobedience led to destruction, so too does the refusal to follow my voice lead to pain, confusion, and ultimately destruction in your life and the lives of others. Let us also consider the tragic story of King Saul. Saul was chosen by me to be the king of Israel, and at the start, he was humble, obedient, and willing to listen to my guidance. But as time went on, Saul began to trust in his own wisdom and turned away from my voice. He disobeyed my command, and when confronted by the prophet Samuel, Saul tried to justify his actions, claiming that he had done things for my glory. But I saw his heart, and I knew that his disobedience was rooted in pride. As a result, I rejected Saul as king, and his reign ended in failure and defeat. Saul's refusal to follow my voice cost him everything: his kingdom, his peace, and ultimately his life. This is the fate of those who refuse to listen to my voice. When you refuse to listen to me, when you follow your own desires, you step out of my protection and away from my perfect plan for your life. You may not see it at first, but gradually you will feel the effects. Without my guidance, without my protection, you will face challenges that seem insurmountable. You will experience fear, confusion, and pain. Life will become a struggle, and though you may try to fill the emptiness with worldly things, you will never find true peace. I do not want this for you, my child. I do not want you to walk in confusion and sorrow. I have called you to a life of victory, to a life filled with my peace, my joy, and my love. But in order to experience that, you must listen to my voice. My voice is a voice of love, of wisdom, and of guidance. It is a voice that leads you to the best possible outcome, the life that I have planned for you from the very beginning. When you choose not to listen to my voice, you choose to go your own way, and going your own way leads to the same fate as the prodigal son in my parable. The prodigal son asked for his inheritance and left his father's house, choosing to live a life of indulgence and self-gratification. He believed he knew what was best for himself, but in the end he lost everything. He found himself in a foreign land, destitute and starving. Only when he came to his senses and returned to his father did he find forgiveness and restoration. My child, this is what happens when you choose to walk away from me. You may think you know what is best, but the world is empty and the promises it offers are hollow. You will find yourself longing for the peace and fulfillment that only I can provide. I will always welcome you back with open arms, just as the Father welcomed his Son. But there are consequences to walking away from my voice. It causes suffering, confusion, and loss. But know this, my child, no matter how far you stray, I am always here, calling you back to me. And consider the rich man and Lazarus. Another story I told in my word. The rich man lived a life of luxury and indulgence, ignoring the poor man Lazarus who lay at his gate. Lazarus, in his suffering, called out to me, and though he lived in poverty, he was found in my arms at the time of his death. The rich man, on the other hand, found himself in torment after his death, separated from the blessings of heaven by a great chasm. The rich man had all the pleasures the world could offer, but he failed to listen to my voice and respond to the needs of others. His life was one of self-indulgence and disregard for my word. The consequences were severe, for his soul was lost to eternity. What a sobering thought, my child. When you choose to ignore my voice, you are not only harming yourself in the here and now, but you are also jeopardizing your eternal future. The world may offer you temporary pleasures, but they are fleeting and empty. They will not satisfy the longing of your soul. Only my presence, only my word can give you the peace, joy, and fulfillment that you seek. So, my child, I ask you today, will you listen to my voice? Will you heed the warnings I give and walk in the path I have set before you? Do not wait for the consequences to unfold before you turn back. Do not wait until you have wandered far from me, lost in confusion and despair. Come back to me now. Listen to my voice and walk in the path I have prepared for you, a path of peace, joy, and eternal life. I am waiting with open arms to lead you back to my heart, to restore what was lost, and to bring you into the fullness of my blessings. But you must choose. You must listen to my voice and follow where I lead. My child, this is the way to life. This is the way to peace. This is the way to eternal joy. Listen to my voice today and walk in the path I have set before you. Stay blessed. Amen.